Hello and welcome to today's video. We are doing the month ahead tarot reading. We are doing a bit of a different angle. So we are here so that you can see the cards on the table. You can see me shuffling. You can see when the cards jump out. Just trying something new. We'll see. Just exploring. So we're looking at December, which is mostly Sagittarius season, moving into Capricorn season near the end. And so we're going to be looking at the thirds of the month, what we need to know for every 10 days, what's happening in December. And we are also going to be picking a Moonology card, and yeah. So I'm going to put your piles out on the table, and then you can pick your pile, and let's get started. All right, so pile number one, you have got this Moon and Heart charm. Pile two, you've got this Peace sign charm. And pile three, you've got this music note charm. Hello, pile one. I have got your Moon and Heart charm right here. We are doing a December month ahead tarot reading. So let's see what your Moonology card is. Here it is. You are good enough. The full moon in Virgo. Look at that. So December may be one of discovering your self-worth and communicating efficiently with yourself, and not so much about talking out loud to others about what you've been working on, more about really being honest with yourself about even some of the insecurities that you have regarding you. Yeah, so something you need to tell yourself is that you are good enough. I am good enough. I am beautiful enough. I am worthy. I am productive enough. I rest, right? Letting yourself rest. So let's see what the major themes of this month are for you. Ooh, we got two guys falling right out. I want to get a third. There we go. So the Five of Cups. So I do see December as a pretty emotional one. But it's sort of up to you to ask if your glass is half empty or half full. Are you willing to see the positive, or are you more likely to sit in the sadness or sit in the negativity, or in other words, sit in a pity party? Let's see what else. We got Justice and the Ace of Pentacles. Check that out. So having to be, again, looking things straight in the eye, being fair about it, being objective, right? Not getting so much emotion in the mix. Instead, taking the emotion out of it and looking at it as though it were a friend, as though what you're going through is what your close friend is going through. And how would you support that friend? And then support yourself that way, because you deserve that. You are good enough, remember? So yeah, being fair about it, being fair to yourself, especially when it comes to your mind. I love this Ace of Pentacles card. Being really fair to yourself when it comes to how you speak to you. I mean, this imagery feels very similar, like the drawing of this woman here with her eyes closed and looking within. And even this Five of Cups, right? She's got her eyes covered. So what are you closing your eyes to? What are you maybe neglecting on a positive scale? So opening up your eyes and seeing both sides of your story. Seeing where, yes, maybe I deserve to be a little sad, but also where can I flip this and see the cups that I do have that are full? Where can I see that rainbow? If you were just to turn around, you might be able to see all of that positivity that is surrounding you. Okay, so I'm going to pick a couple cards for the first third of December. Ooh, hello. Okay, the Page of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles. Okay, so I think the first 10 days of December, from December 1st to December 10th, is going to be all about self-reflection. And because we are in Sagittarius season, we've done a lot of self-reflecting in Scorpio season, and now it is sort of about seeing the bigger picture of it all. So really reflecting on that work that you did, what emotions do need to stay with you and which ones you can let go of. And then this Nine of Pentacles, seeing your value, seeing your harvest, seeing what you have grown, seeing how you've grown, your evolutions. So this Nine of Pentacles, I love this one because she's harvesting these grapes that she's worked so hard on. And maybe it wasn't conventional for her to own a grape wine, I don't know, a wine orchard, vineyard, thank you. Maybe, you know, it's not conventional for her to own a vineyard or to run a vineyard, but she's doing it anyway because she knows she can produce something of value. So that's sort of how you have to speak to yourself the first 10 days of December, definitely letting yourself know and seeing yourself. And maybe it feels vain to you. Maybe affirmations feel vain. Looking in the mirror and telling yourself you are good enough feels like a vain thing to do. But who cares? Stop putting the label on it. Just be that version of vain because it makes you a happier person. You know, and as long as you're not harming anybody else, you're taking care of you. And that really is important. So let's see the second third of December. So December 11th to the 20th. We're going to continue with the ethereal visions. Okay, we've got the King of Wands, the Star, and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, let's see. Moving forward, a lot of action, but also in a passive sense, where maybe it's not up to you, right? So here's where I got this action. Moving forward, being very action-oriented, goal-oriented, trying to be valuable in the way of what you look like or how people perceive you. And then we've got the Star, who is taking action by doing really nothing. You know, this act of resting and relaxing and just living in her hopes or dreams of the future, that is her action. And then we've got the Six of Pentacles here. So I feel like the second third of December, from December 11th to the 20th, is going to be all about maybe letting go of some of the errands or chores or duties that you feel that have to be you, that you have to do. Letting go of some of that and passing the baton. Passing the baton is really ringing loud for me right now. So letting somebody else take care of it, letting somebody else help you with it, that you don't have to hold it all and do it all. Okay, and our last, we're going to go with Botticelli. The last third of December, so if you celebrate Christmas, it's that time. We've got the Fool. Let's see what else. So December 21st to the 31st. We've got the 10 of Swords, and we've got the 8 of Cups. So the Fool is always about this beginning a new venture. And especially in this one, he feels somewhat fearful. Where normally the Fool is very brave and courageous and maybe sort of silly, right? Because he's a fool to go after the things that other people can see are dangerous. This one is a little bit scared. So it's okay to be scared of the new ventures. It's okay to start new and not really feel so gung-ho about it. I know for me as a fire sign, I get really excited when there's a shift or a change. But that's not the case for everybody. Some people like to keep that stability and security. But I do think that by doing this new thing, by venturing out, you're ending this like mental anguish and this mental suffering. There's a lot of anxiety surrounding starting anew. And so if this is in a relationship, maybe you're getting engaged and that's scary. Maybe you're breaking up and that's scary. But know that it's the end of a cycle. You are ending something by beginning this new. And we've got the 8 of Cups, which normally is a figure walking away from the cups, but because these are all Botticelli paintings, they can't all be the exact imagery. So this one is more about preaching your emotions and speaking your emotions. And that's going to be during Aquarius season. So once you can finally decide that my weirdness is what makes me awesome, then you can finally start speaking it. And so communicating effectively with others, but also being really honest with the self emotionally. Our last Scorpio season was so much about healing and retreating within and taking care of your emotions and really nurturing yourself in the emotional realm. And then Sagittarius was all about speaking up, communicating with others, making a larger community for yourself. And so, sorry, not Aquarius, Capricorn. Let me totally rephrase that. Capricorn is not afraid of being judged by anybody else. Capricorn knows what is valuable and it does it and it has those goals. So just wanted to correct myself there. But this Eight of Cups, preaching and knowing that you are valid and you are justified. Not that you're right, right? Because this justice has come up, so there's a need to assess whether you're right or being fair, but that it's valid what you are thinking and feeling. Your experience is valid, and you are worth speaking up, right? Because you are good enough. You deserve to speak up and speak your truth. So let's see one last overarching message that you need. The Ace of Cups and this guy, Eight of Swords. Yeah. You need to find something to fill up your cup. You need to find a way to do it yourself too. Do it yourself in a way, not that you have to do everything yourself, because a large portion of this month is about you asking others for help, but even doing that, asking others to support you, that's you doing it for yourself. So make sure that you take some time out this month to really try and fill up your cup, whether it's with joy, whether it's with nourishment, nutrition, just nurturing yourself. So I hope that was helpful. I hope you have a wonderful December, and I will see you next time. All right, pile 2, we have got your peace sign charm here. So we are going to pick a Moonology card for the month of December for you. Or it's going to pick us, and it's actually 2. A new start is coming, new moon, and meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So both new moons, and they're in Pisces. So a lot about releasing maybe old karma for sure, but also old emotional cycles, old ways of maybe undoing, self-undoing. That's really Pisces right there. So the self-undoing, the let me sit with this for a minute. New moon, we need to release. It's definitely a release. It's a release of not putting yourself first, which seems to be a theme so far, because that did come up for the pile 1 as well. The release of not putting yourself first and not placing your needs as priorities. So let's see what the overarching theme is for this month. Okay. Got the 8 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles. You have to move forward without thinking about what other people will think of it. You can't compare yourself to what other people are doing. You have to just do what works for you and not worry about, well, why isn't this person doing that if it's such a great idea? It doesn't suit them. It doesn't align with them. So do what suits and aligns with you, and don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just worry about how it fills you up and how it fills you with inspiration and with something of value in your life. I love this 3 of Pentacles. It's so unlike many others because it's about this little triangle here that doesn't have this pentacle. And look at these hands here all picking their own pentacles. This little mountain isn't thinking about what all of these hands are doing. It's not worried about all the other pentacles that everybody else has. Say you make jewelry and you're watching this really big mass-producing jewelry maker. Not to compare yourself to what they're creating. Instead, to use that as inspiration and to see that as a possibility for the future and to work towards that, to have the goals. That's very 8 of Wands, to shoot towards your goals and try and gain something from them. So that's the general theme for this. Yeah, not to put yourself down, right? That new moon in Pisces. So let's look at the first third of December. Okay, we've got the Fool and we've got the Sun. Check it out. So I think there's some fear to jump. There's definitely some fear to take that leap of faith and to, because it's into the unknown. You don't know what's coming. I think it could be intense joy, but I also think that with things that come with intense joy, there's also work that has to be done. And you may feel that there's resistance to that joy. And so maybe your work has to do with why maybe you reject joy, or why you resist it or hesitate to keep it in your life because there's some sort of fear of losing it. Then there's more to lose. And so the first 10 days of December, the 1st to the 10th, focus on, why am I resisting this move forward? Why am I resisting this leap of faith? Is it just because I'm afraid of the unknown? Or is it because I'm afraid to work towards being happy? The Fool and the Sun together, these are two very positive cards. So to see that potential and to see that excitement of where you can grow, what you can gain by jumping, by leaping, by taking that risk, I think that's really important for you. All right, moving on to the second third of December, the 11th to the 20th. Oop. We've got the 9 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups, and the 5 of Swords. Wow, okay, so the 9 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups. This is a very fortunate month for you. I think maybe you just have to reframe the way that you think about fortune, because I think there's a lot around you that you can be grateful for. And even financially and emotionally, I think you are very grounded and very rooted in what you need to do. And so to be grateful for the fact that you have this sense of purpose that not everybody else has. So yeah, 5 of Swords, definitely about reframing the way that you think about these things, changing your mind, switching the mindset. Because 9 of Pentacles is just this huge gain of funds, of stability, of security, of money. So resources, and the 10 of Cups, emotional satisfaction within the family, within your relationships, being at this heightened version of your aligned emotional self. And so that new moon in Pisces could be signifying this release of that old pity party version, you know, letting go of your emotional attachments. So releasing that just because that's what you've known for so long. All right, so the last third of December, the 21st to the 31st. Well, no, I want this guy. See, now that this angle is here, you can see what happens when all the cards fall out. We got the 10 of Pentacles. Wow. So really money is at the forefront. Your resources are really getting more and more. I feel like maybe you're a business owner and for the holiday season, your finances are growing and you're going to have a good holiday season. 10 of Pentacles, but it's also more than just money. It's also, ooh, yep, thank you. Oh, yes, thank you. So right as I was saying that, it's not just money. You have to reframe the way that you think about your finances, or reframe why money is so important to you. And then we got Judgment. So being really honest with the self, really assessing how much money do I really need and how much more is just a luxury. And then you also got Death. So letting go, shedding some skin, shedding some of your perceptions of money and how you've been trained to think that money is what we all live for, right? So releasing the thoughts on that. There's so much here about your funds and your financial situation and your resources, but you also have to shift that into what's valuable. Where is your value? Or is your value in your business, in your work, or is it maybe in your personal life? Where are you being your most valuable? Where are you getting the most value? So really being honest with the self about that. So let's pick one last message you need to hear. Okay. 10 of Pentacles again. Sit in this joy. Sit in it. Sit in that value, that gratefulness, that gratitude. You literally have a 9, 10, 10, 10. You have all of these, and then you have a 5, which is about changing the way that you're perceiving your reality, what's tangible, your value, really shifting the way that you think about money. That is wild. You've got 3 10s here, a 9. You're really at the pinnacle here. You just have to see it and just have to be grateful for it. So have a very fortunate December. I'm excited to see how this resonates with you, and I am sending you the best. Bye. Hello, pile 3. I have got your music note charm here. So I'm going to pick a Moonology card for your month, for your December. A win-win outcome is forecast. The full moon in Libra. So a full moon in Libra could also be a reaching like the manifestation or the pinnacle of a relationship, or dealing with anybody else that isn't you. This could be legal battles. This could be your communication styles. It can be your interior design, right? So that full moon energy is this manifestation of those energies, and we're going to get into a little bit more specific. So let's see what the general themes of December are for you. Okay, we got that guy. The Seven of Wands. Let's see what else. The Devil. Interesting. So I feel like there are some battles that you are gearing up for. You are getting ready to pick your battles, to fight your battles, to defend yourself, and maybe going on the offense too. By being defensive, you're also sort of playing the attacker. And so looking at in your relationships where you maybe are being triggered and projecting your worries, your insecurities, your anxieties onto other people, where maybe their intention was not to, to highlight those insecurities. It's just you projecting that onto there. So being really honest with yourself. The Devil is all about looking yourself in the face as a human, and that you were put here as a human for a reason, to learn certain lessons, right? It's ruled by Capricorn, so that it could be really prevalent for you because we do move into Capricorn season near the end of December. So looking at yourself, looking at your goals, looking at your blame and your self-shame, how you shame yourself or how you shame others, especially because we have that full moon in Libra energy. So those are pretty intense themes. Being on the defense all of the time, rather than just being able to enjoy the moment, always 2 steps ahead, making sure you know what to say in case you're ever like verbally attacked. So let's see what the first third of December brings you. December 1st to December 10th. We've got the Two of Cups, so we are highlighting emotions, but also relationships. The evolution of relationships too, because I love this Two of Cups because it's got those peonies. And I love that peonies, how they bloom. They're such a little bulb, and then all of a sudden they're huge, these huge flowers. It's sort of symbolic of like that butterfly transformation. There we go. We've got the Star. That's Aquarius energy. So hoping for the future, looking towards the future for in your relationships, hoping to evolve and to continue growing, hoping to have a sudden growth spurt when it comes to relationships, but know that you have to put in the work, because the Devil is here to say you have to work in order to gain the rewards. That's Saturn. And the Knight of Wands. Yeah, so I almost feel like you're all talk. So do you want to be all talk, or do you want to walk the walk? How dorky. This Knight of Wands is so cocky. And you want this Two of Cups, you have hope for a beautiful relationship, then you have to be vulnerable. Then you can't just be cocky and say, I'm going to get it. You have to do the work. You have to look inwards and do the work that Saturn asks you to do. So I would ask you to look at where Saturn is in your chart, because I feel like that is where a lot of limitations are, where a lot of fear is, where there's shame, where maybe you blame yourself or blame others, depending on the sign. So that's really interesting. The first 10 days of December is all about, okay, am I willing to put in the work to get the relationship that I really want? Or the other Libra themes, even when it comes to interior design. Am I actually going to do the work, or am I just going to hire somebody else to do it for me? Communication or legal battles. I have to actually look at, what is it that I really want here? Am I just fighting because I feel defensive? Or am I fighting because I know what I want? Because I'm sure of the future that I want. So having to look at that shadow side of yourself. All right, the second third of December. This guy, the Moon. Yep, emotions, being really in touch with your cycle. The Queen of Wands. All right, give me another feminine figure, would you? The Nine of Swords. So the Moon is all about being in touch with your emotion, your intuition, your empathy, but it's also all about your cycles and your patterns and noticing those emotional cycles that you do have. So again, that that theme of projecting, you can break that pattern, right? This Queen of Wands leveling up from the Knight to the Queen. You know, so the first third is all about, okay, am I just being cocky here? Am I actually going to walk the walk? And then this Queen of Wands shows up in the second third of December. I almost feel like if you're seeing a lot of family in this holiday season, that this is a really good chance for you to level up and to break some of those emotional patterns that you have. A lot of our emotional triggers come from childhood trauma. And trauma doesn't have to be something so huge and like your world is broken. Trauma happens to all of us. And some is very, very difficult, and some is not as difficult. And so breaking some of those emotional patterns and being able to release, and yeah, that full moon in Libra energy, you're manifesting the best relationships possible. So really breaking those emotional patterns, noticing the cycles, noticing your triggers, and then pulling yourself out of it, which is this Nine of Swords, taking yourself out of this nightmare situation that you found yourself in. You know, it's sort of all starting in your mind, not to say that other people aren't maybe gaslighting or manipulating you, but that it has to be a conscious choice for you to say, I am not doing this anymore, and I'm breaking this cycle, I'm breaking this pattern. The second third of December, or the last third of December. So December 21st to the 31st. The Page of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're starting on this new journey of speaking your truth and really communicating yourself and communicating yourself in an authentic way. So it's not about just blabbing on or chatting. It's more about everything that I say being a direct truth from my connection to my higher self. And this Knight of Pentacles, really charging forward. And it may be slow movement. You know, maybe you'll be a little disappointed with how slowly this progress is happening. But the biggest step is choosing to break the cycle, or choosing to break the pattern or the generational traumas. So that is a first step that is very, very huge. And it feels like whoosh, like you've really done something. And then the actual work is slow going, because you're not going to notice it every time. You're not going to notice when you're being triggered. You're not going to notice when you're projecting every single time. You're just training your brain or re-educating your brain to notice when you are not seeing others' true intentions, and instead you're just projecting your fears or insecurities or anxieties onto them. So be patient with yourself and be patient with the process in the end of December. So let's get an overarching last message that you need to hear. There it is. The Nine of Wands. Yeah, I do feel like there are some things that are really ingrained in you from childhood, but also from past lives even. You see this little kitty tail? So instead of thinking that it's your fault and blaming yourself for having these triggers, move on from the blame game and just instead work towards the solution and work towards, seeing where it happened, seeing where it started and how it's affected you every day. And this Nine of Wands, I feel like, is so generational and also so related to past lives, because it's so deeply ingrained that maybe you don't even recognize it's there. So being kind with yourself, being patient, and knowing that you're doing the really deep work. So a lot of luck for this December. You're really getting into it. So I will see you next time.